cheered by all the fans, and then all of a sudden she went schizo. She comes out with these steaks, and now she's hanging with this Shalimar.
Well, you figured that out pretty quick, didn't you? Jonathan Sayers and Neil Drumstick. I mean, they'd make mashed potatoes out of your brain.
I can't believe I was ever associated with these guys. I cannot believe it.
Well, I don't know what happened, and I don't know who knocked enough sense into your head, but frankly, I'm delighted to see that you've finally seen what people like that can do to you.
Well, Ed, you know, I can wrestle when I want to, but then again, as the record's proven, I can fight, and I can street brawl all through any building in the world, especially with Joe Cagle. And Delta Dawn, if she wants to stick her nose again, we can tear it off.
I guess I can figure out pretty quick what kind of a match will be with Joe Cagle.
Well, you know it's going to be a war. The war to settle the score, because I haven't forgotten what they've done to my wife. I think about it every day when I wake up and look in the mirror.
Well, Delta Dawn, of course, as you say, I think she's absolutely flipped out. I mean, it happens when you hang around with people like that, and it's happened to her.
Well, if that's the way she wants to live her life, I led that lifestyle, Ed Carl. It's not a happy lifestyle. Now, whenever I go out in public, I don't have to worry about people coming up behind me and doing whatever, you know, getting their cheap shots in on me and saying things. Now people talk to me, they shake my hand.
Well, I can tell you that there's an awful lot of the fans who were delighted to see the new Diamond Timothy Flowers.
Personified perfection.
Well, Corey's in a little bit of trouble here with Delta Dawn.
Delta Dawn can wrestle too, but she's resorting to the tactics of Sayers and Drummond, like you said before.
Well, I think I'm delighted to see Buddy Wayne do that. He came in there and actually picked her off. Now, I know that's not exactly part of the rule book, but...
well, he's got a 5 count.
Yeah, got to fight fire with fire, and that's exactly what Buddy Wayne was doing there.
Hey, remember my motto, Ed Carl, do what it takes to win, and I'm still going to live by it, no matter what happens.
Well, certainly Diamond Timothy Flowers has won an awful lot of matches with that motto.
I didn't become the world champion by being no slouch or no bum or nothing like that, and I beat all comers, including my former tag team partner who went back to Japan, John Tenta, and anybody else who stepped face-to-face to me in the middle of the ring, and you know that for a fact.
You know, I'm starting to really enjoy this gal Corey. We haven't seen a lot of her up until recently, but she's starting to find her way around the ring really well against this Delta Dawn.
Well, Delta Dawn's no slouch. She's one of the better lady wrestlers in the world today. But this Corey's giving her a run for her money here, which is good. I like to see this. Delta Dawn stuck that snake in my wife's face a few weeks ago.
That is the ugliest snake. Absolutely ugly.
I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. But I got me a new partner now when I need her, the Polish Princess, and she's dynamite too. And later on in the show, you're going to see me and the Polish Princess against Bundy and the Shalimar, Delta Dawn's tag team partner.
Hey, you ought to be looking forward to a match against Bundy.
Haha. We all know the record speaks for itself with me and Bundy, but that's far from over too. I said that all along.
Well, Delta Dawn going for the cover, and look at he did it again.
That's right. Why shouldn't we, Buddy Wayne, do that? When Drummond and Sayers do that kind of stuff, they need baseball bats and everything like that.
Well, you knew he was going to do exactly that. You know, I can see Neil Drumstick is staying far away from here ever since he noticed you were here.
Yeah, he needs to watch his back, but I go face to face. I don't go behind nobody.
Oh, look at this. Buddy Wayne taking a lot of heat here from Joe Cagle.
Come on, Buddy!
Buddy Wayne definitely in a little bit of trouble here against Cagle. Ooh.
Shut your mouth, you scum! Come on, Buddy!
Oh, the yelling and screaming out here in the background is Delta Dawn yelling at Diamond Timothy Flowers.
Don't count Buddy Wayne out yet, Ed.
No, I've learned a long time ago not to count Buddy Wayne out too quickly.
That's a package of dynamite right there. A lot of action there in that little guy.
But that is a bad corner to be in right there where he is, because look at what's happening.
You see this? No.
That's Delta Dawn doing that, and of course, look at right there. Look at that.
Look at
Sayers is right there. Whoa, but here comes Flowers. Flowers was going over to help out. That is the fastest disappearing act I have ever seen in my life.
I'm not putting up with that bull no more, Ed. That's unnecessary.
All it took was Flowers just going over to the corner of the ring, and it was the fastest disappearing act you'd ever see.
You know, these two guys, I'd like to get them in a match together. There's both of them against me. Drummond and Sayers. They both need their heads kicked in.
You couldn't keep Drumstick in the ring there if you tied him down with rope.
Yeah, well, if I chained both of them to me, Ed Carl, I'd keep them in the ring or put in a cage around them. And look at the beatings of their life. They'll never wish they were born.
I don't think you could keep Drummond in the ring. That little squirt to be out of there, I'll tell you, he'd be gone in a second.
Well, that just shows you what kind of man he is. He stands out here and says what kind of a man and a mind that he is, but he's nothing but a yellow-bellied coward.
You know, if you did a cage match with Neil Drummond, he'd sneak out underneath the cage.
Yeah, I'd throw him through the cage, and I'd throw him through the cage. Yeah.
Well, you can hear the fans saying, "Go, buddy, go," and he'd better get something together here. We're in the 9th minute of this match, a 15-minute tag team. Oh!
Come on, Russ, get down there.
Talk about getting something going. Well, Buddy Wayne had it together, but now Delta Dawn came into the ring. Now we got everybody on the ring. You can see Corey and Delta Dawn in the ring over in the other corner. Look at Buddy Wayne.
Hey, now what's the ref pushing Buddy Wayne out for? Hey, what's this? What's this? Look at this, look at this. He slammed the woman again.
He certainly
Now what's
did.
this?
That's exactly what I'd expect from Joe Cagle.
Hey, that should be a disqualification.
It certainly should, but look at this. Gary Allen did not see it, and look what
Hey,
happened.
that should be a disqualification, man.
There is no doubt that should be a disqualification. However, Gary Allen probably did not see it, and that's, of course, what's caused the problem. And there's an awful lot of heat going on. Flowers complaining about that. We'll get a chance to go to ringside, I think, and see what they say. Boy, the fans are really excited about the refereeing in that match, as Gary Allen is not exactly the most popular referee
Well,
in the world after that.
I take back what I said about Gary Allen. It looks like finally he's taking my advice and doing a good job for once in his life. You know, I was outraged here tonight, Ed Carl, the way I was so viciously assaulted by this young upstart, Buddy Wayne. He attacked me, a cowardly act that I know all the Canadian people
Maybe you were
and
just
the
standing in the
U.S.
wrong
viewing
place.
audience are upset. I know that the UWA will be flooded with letters, cards, and written in. And you also saw Tim Flowers sitting over there doing what he does best, talking. Well, tonight, the talking's done, Tim Flowers. The
I
talking's
always
done.
thought that Jonathan
You
Sayers
know,
was the all-time champion talker.
No, he is my cousin, and I want to say this, Tim Flowers. It's been a long time since me and you tangled, but tonight is going to be the night, Daddy. I'm going to shut your big mouth. You sit out here and talk through my mask. Why didn't you come to my face, Flowers?
You know, he's got a little problem, a stomach ailment, no guts. But tonight, he won't be able to get out of that. Tonight, it's time to pay your dues, Tim Flowers, and there's the man that's going to do it.
That's
and
not
this
the way the
lady
Flowers
right
tells it.
here, this lady right here, one of the greatest women wrestlers this world has ever seen. Talk to him, Delta.
That's right, Danuta and this other girl that she's with. You better watch out because I'll send you back to Polish, both of you. And listen here, Suzie Tanner, I'm getting a little sick and tired of you coming out here and telling every one of these Canadians that we were friends. I'm not your friend no more, and you better get that straight through your head. And listen to me, Destiny's gonna get all of you, you hear me? Destiny's after you.
I don't know. I just don't like what I
Tell
see
you,
coming.
you
I
better
really
come
don't.
out and see Tim Flowers. You better come on down because me and the Bundy's going to be in my corner, and I'm going to tell you people something right now. Tonight is the last night you'll see Tim Flowers, baby.
Well, that's a big statement.
Tim Flowers, like I said before, how does it feel to be on the other side with your friends turning on your back?
I don't know what's going to happen, but you can see that a lot of action is going to happen here on All-Star Wrestling. We'll be right back, right after these words. You like the snake? Oh, I love him.